Okay, I'm going to show you something. Not to brag, but what I'm going to show you is I'm going to say you can do this too. So the first one I just got is a certificate. It's a leadership. And then my favorite one is the speaking. And you can do this too. But let's talk about you. Calm down. I'm really not saying, I'm not showing that off. I'm just so passionate about you and your voice and finding your voice. If you don't know me, I'm Theresa Croft, and I am a voice revivalist helping you find your voice, especially if you feel voiceless. Have you ever felt voiceless? Maybe trauma. Maybe you're voiceless in a corporate job, but no one listens to you. That's what I want to talk to you today about in this special webinar. I appreciate those who are jumping on in. It's the idea of finding the threads that really get you to the place where you say, yeah, I really do have a voice. What's making me voiceless? Threads. A lot of time I like to think of this. Think back when you were a child and what did you like to do when you played? I really believe this is like God's design on your life. I know I have a friend, she liked to play Barbie dolls in this business thing. And then I had another friend, I asked her, and she said she would color a page in a coloring book, rip it out, and then go and sell it. I love that. And she was a very successful businesswoman. So when I think of my threads, I was just like this little person that always wanted to find a stage. Don't ask me why. In fact, I remember, I've never told this before. I remember being in church. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was dangling my foot because on the floor were all these speckles, and my foot was the speaker. And I would pretend like I was with my foot talking to all these people. That was the speckles on the floor. Never shared that before. Shared it with you. But also, when I got to be about 6 or 7, we lived in this old house. And there were massive stairs. It was an old house, so they had these massive stairs to the front door. No one went to the front door that way. But I would climb up on those steps. And I'd look out into the area, and I would preach. I was Catholic. It was a good homily, believe me. That same house, my dad came home, what was then modern. This is going to date me. He came home with a tape recorder and a microphone. And he went to work and said, don't touch it. Of course I touched it. I snuck into his room, pulled that thing out, and I would pretend I was all these voices. If I told you the voices, you'd really know my age. Have you ever heard of Walter Cronkite? Howard Cosell? We had the Super Bowl last night. That's what I tried to sound like. With a voice that didn't have too much coffee. That came later. Me trying to clear my throat. We moved. And when we moved to this house that only had 2 little front steps, just to continue this thread story. And I remember looking at those 2 steps. I tried to get up there, and it just wouldn't have the same effect. It wasn't high. But I noticed one day there was an apple cart. I thought, So I tipped that apple cart the long way, see, like this, and I got on top. And I preached to the birds, the bees, and the apple trees. I had found Jesus. I think it was life insurance, but I had asked Jesus in my heart. So I really was preaching. So think about that. This is it. I mean, I could go on, but threads. Do you understand what I'm saying? I now, since 2008, I open up an Apple computer, then later on an Apple phone with filters, of course. And I'd preach, I would teach, I would talk. That later did go on into a career in broadcasting. I was 15 years on the radio, got paid to talk. That was pretty cool. Struggled through a rough marriage, but still was trying to find my voice then, mainly from the Word of God. You can find your voice from the voice of God. I had a Kingdom Mentor Academy where I taught women how to find their voice. And then my husband got cancer, and then he eventually died, and I kind of was left in the wake of all that. When I mean wake, it was a rough marriage. Can I take a drink on that? It was, thank you for letting me say, yep, thank you for letting me take a drink. It was a rough marriage, which coming through healing, it'll be 2 years this June. But walking through healing, I even more is passionate for those who are voiceless. because I was in a marriage after I retired from radio. Even when I was in radio, there was always a battle for my voice. Someone else always wanted to talk. Like I said, my heart is for those women who may still be in a relationship where maybe the narcissistic is in. So when I tell you, I know what it's like to be voiceless from trauma, and now to walk out of that, I know what that's like. So what I want to present to you in this webinar, though, is some things that have helped me find my voice. I started out by showing you my certificates. Not trying to show off, but to say there are some great ways to make money, earn money, save money, have personal development, and be able to continue to find your voice. I'm going to show you 3. I'm going to show you the first one real quick, because basically this is my heart as I share this. I just want to share, like, I believe in you. I believe there's a momentum. If millionaire just wigs you out, I believe that there is a momentum of women voices, women entrepreneurs, whether you're in the corporate field or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're just really professional and you know there's more. I believe this is for you. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take some time. And do you just love that? Keeping God as your CEO. Let me tell you, that's my heart. So let's go on to the next one. So these are 3 offers that I talk about. The Finmore. This is like you got a credit card and you hook it to the Finmore card. So every dollar you spend, you get what's called credits, and they add up, and you can buy things from everyday things to travel to nice luxury things or to everyday things. That's in the first part. Won't go into detail, even though I have slides. The second one is really something that that's where the certificates came from. Girl Power Alliance. There is a Men Power Alliance where you get 200 on-demand courses. And that may this doesn't really thrill me, but you get calls almost every day, accountability calls, prayer calls, lunch and learn calls, the Friday leadership call. And if you're a part of this one, the ambassador, you get like a VIP every month. And then you get certification classes. And then the third option is Learn with T. I can teach you one-on-one some basic things, from speaking to personal development to using AI if you want to start a basic, but just one-on-one help. So let's go to these questions. Maybe you're looking for a simple and fun way to save money. Raise your hand. Maybe you're want to be a part of a Christian community and you want personal and professional development, or ways to gain maybe more visibility. And when I say visibility, I will have you on my podcast. That's my element. And then additional income streams. So let's go to Finmore. Can I just skip through this? Basically, like I said, you earn Fin credits when you spend with any major credit card. You hook that credit card and you start making money. $50, $4.95 a month. But this is the cool thing. See the thing on the right? When my friend Elise showed me this, I immediately always go, how can I make more money? So I made the cutoff. I am now a legacy in my membership. And there's other ways to make money as you share the card. We know that thing. Let's go to the next one. $50 a year, $495 a month. You need to DM me. Go ahead and say, I want to know more on that, because I would love Elise, the consummate professional, to share more on that. This is where the heart and soul of what I've been involved in the last year, on top of some neuropsycho facilitator, Alana Vandeventer, I have found community. I remember this time when I was telling Alana in a counseling, I'm like, family, community, finding your people, that's just a myth. Because I was kind of feeling alone. I didn't have a lot of people around. My husband left me homeless, so I had to find a place to live, and it was far from my kids. And I was just, it's a myth. And I remember Alana calmly saying, what are we doing? Is this community? I said, yeah, it is. And then October, I went to their Activate conference and I found my people. It was like, a lot of times you see them in a box. Don't discard that. I mean, I'm in another mastermind when we see each other in the boxes. So let me talk to you about Girl Power Alliance. This is a place where you get personal, professional, and leadership development at its finest. The Radiant Leadership Academy, which is the thing I just got, it's 16 weeks with 4 pillars. You talk about your identity. Leadership begins with you. You talk a whole month about wealth, investing, and stewardship. That was my favorite. You talk about mending your mind and your mouth. That was pretty powerful. Your mind. And then the 4th one, which we are rounding out, being an impact-driven leader. That's all in this. This is all what I'm talking to you. So there's 2 different memberships. If you want to get this certification, you want to go for that Leadership Academy, or you want to go through the Speaker Academy. I went through that and I'm going through it again. 9 weeks in-house talking, and then a chance for a stage. So the VIP membership is really, it's like the everything. 200 plus on demand. But a lot of people, they start out here. They start up with the basic membership and they work their way up to the VIP one. And a lot of times that's a great place to start if you're not sure if you want to go be a speaker. If you're not quite sure about the Leadership Academy, you can stay here and still get amazing accountability, amazing teaching, 150 on-demand training courses. You still get the accountability calls. You still get the community. Every Thursday night we have community. If you want to go to that this Thursday, please DM me and I'll give you a ticket in. So becoming an ambassador, this is what they give you, which I am in marketing. I know how much a sales funnel costs. I know to get a website up is very expensive. I know that to have a franchise, a done-for-you membership that has lead generation tools, you can't put a price tag. Well, you can. It's 15 to 20 grand. But as you're an ambassador, a VIP, you get that. So we're talking about this, but let's talk about getting paid. I would do you wrong if I don't talk about compensation. And I'll talk rather quickly. The instant enrollment bonus, the first month they double. So every person you get in, you get $80 or $400. What a way to pay off your membership. And then, of course, there's member pools, 10 to 25% on monthly membership. You get tier advancement bonuses. I love when I see one of my friends get a tier advancement. I think, oh, they're getting a bonus. Ambassador network bonus. This is something that, this is known as a very good compensation plan simply for that. A lot of people go straight to that, 2 to 10% for every membership in your entire network with the chance to earn on infinite depth. Some commission plans, they say, you can only go to the 10th, no more. That's amazing. Leadership bonus, retail bonus. Let's say someone doesn't want to enjoy the membership and they just want to take the 5,000 speaking. You sell them the 5,000 and you get a nice compensation for that. So there you are. Just go real quick. The VIP membership and the basic membership. I always go VIP. Look at the certification. To be certified as a leader, a coach, or a speaker, you can't put a dollar amount. And then the final thing is Theresa. Let's say you're not quite sure about that and you want to piecemeal some things. I offer $97 for 1 hour. Podcasting, be a guest. You don't have to pay for that. That's just a way to be seen. But I really teach on the speaker opportunity about building a brand first, how to post to build a brand. I do have AI courses. I have one that's podcasting made easy with AI. You just go through the course, get your podcast up. I also come alongside. And then ongoing, whether it's personal development or however it is, I'm right there with you to help you. So straight. I'm just kind of coming to you straight. I believe in investing in yourself. And sometimes you can think that doesn't seem right. But I will tell you, it's very kingdom to invest in yourself. When you charge things for credit on investing yourself, that's not the same as using credit to pay your expenses or to pay your luxury items. There's a leverage that I believe in. I believe in you more than anything. I believe we live in a very dark world. As I always like to say, you're the much needed salt to a world that's lost its appetite for a loving meal at the Father's table. Your voice is light to a world that thinks darkness is normal and struggles with enmity and strife. Your voice doesn't carry a gory story, but a glory story. And part of walking in that lane is saying, I'm going to make a decision. I know I have a voice, or I may feel voiceless, or I need to get unleashed with my voice. And I'm going to speak. I'm going to learn how to do that. I'm going to find a community that's going to support me every step of the way. I remember as I was trying to find my voice again, I thought I found it. Going through trauma will kind of knock things down. But I remember as I went step by step, and as I went in the Word, I found a couple keys. I found that trusting in the Lord and delighting in Him can be an amazing power source, the fuel to your calling, to your mission. We're called to love God. Our mission is what we do with that love and helping others. And I remember just every morning talking to God about this and making sure I speak from wounds and not, making sure I speak from scars and not wounds. Because if I speak from my wounds, it kind of gets messy. I tell you all bad things about what I went through. I can speak to the scars and say, hey, I know what you're going through. I've been there. There are ways to walk. That's part of my speaking. So what do you say? Thank you. Appreciate you. DM me at Theresa Croft on Instagram or message me at Theresa Croft. And we'll see if we can't make this work for you. Because, see, I believe in you. I believe there's more to your life than what you're doing right now because you're frustrated. Frustration is not your calling. I believe there's more to your life if you're kind of bored. Boredom is not your calling. Your calling is to ride high, ride with the Lord, trust God, delight in Him, and then see what He has to offer. You know, it's lined in your DNA. If you're starting to feel something like, yeah, I really want to speak, or, I need to get out of this rut, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. It's kingdom. It's worth immeasurable. I could give you testimonies. Go on my Unleashing Kingdom Voices if you want to hear testimonies and words of empowerment, especially this week if you're watching this now. This week I have part 1 and 2 of really an ability to free your mind with an amazing story from my friend Alana Vandeventer. That's Unleashing Kingdom Voices. Check that out. All right. I believe in you. You have a voice. I can't wait to hear it. Talk to you.